My family thought my grandmother had finally lost her mind. At our family gathering, she handed every one of us an envelope and calmly said, "This is your inheritance." My father laughed. My older brother laughed even harder. Then they did something so stupid that it still sounds unbelievable today. They destroyed theirs right in front of her. I didn't. And less than 24 hours later, a bank manager looked me in the eye and said something that changed my life forever. But what happened after that was even worse, because the money wasn't the biggest secret my grandmother was hiding. I grew up as the forgotten child. My brother Ryan was the golden son. Whatever he did was genius. Whatever I did was ignored. When he lost money, it was business experience. When I succeeded, it was luck. That night was no different. Ryan spent the entire dinner bragging about a huge property project. The truth? His business was drowning in debt. Nobody knew except me. And in less than a week, that secret would destroy everything. I tried sharing my own news. After years of hard work, I had just received a major promotion. My mother barely looked up. My father changed the subject. Then my grandmother quietly watched everyone around the table. She didn't argue. She didn't defend me. She simply observed. Looking back now, I think she was conducting a test, and nobody realized they were being tested. Near the end of dinner, Grandma placed 4 envelopes on the table. One for my father, one for my mother, one for Ryan, one for me. Inside each envelope was a check. The amount, $6 million. Everyone froze for about 3 seconds. Then the laughter started. The next thing they did cost them a fortune. Ryan called it a joke. My father called it evidence of dementia. My mother rolled her eyes. Then Ryan ripped his check into pieces. My father followed. They tossed the scraps into the fireplace. Gone. Just like that. My mother threw hers away. I folded mine and put it in my bag. Not because I believed it was real, because I respected the person who gave it to me. The next morning, I decided to prove it was fake. Big mistake. Before work, I stopped at my bank. I handed the check to a teller. She looked at it, looked again, then disappeared. Minutes later, the branch manager arrived. His face had completely changed. He escorted me into a private office and closed the door. I honestly thought I was in trouble. Instead, he leaned forward and said, "This check is valid." And that wasn't even the shocking part. The manager explained that the account behind the check belonged to an ultra-high net worth client. The funds were real. Every dollar, $6 million, landed in my account. I sat there speechless. Then another realization hit me. My family had just destroyed $18 million with their own hands, but they still didn't know it. 3 days later, my grandmother passed away peacefully. The family immediately started talking about inheritance. Not grief, not memories, money. My brother was already planning how he'd spend it. My father promised to rescue Ryan's failing business using Grandma's estate. They had no idea what was coming, because Grandma had left one final surprise. At the lawyer's office, everyone expected millions. The attorney opened the file, then read a single sentence. All inheritance was distributed before my death. Silence. Absolute silence. My brother started shouting. My parents demanded explanations. The attorney calmly reminded them about Christmas dinner. Then he revealed the number they had burned. $24 million. That was the amount distributed. The room exploded. My mother realized her envelope had been thrown away. My brother remembered the fireplace. My father turned white. For the first time in my life, nobody had an answer. Then all three of them remembered something else. Me. Suddenly I became important. The daughter they ignored for years. The sister they mocked. Now they needed me. Within days they were calling, begging, demanding, threatening. Ryan needed money immediately. His business wasn't successful. It was collapsing. And the deeper I looked, the uglier the truth became. Investigations revealed massive debt, hidden loans, risky investments, years of bad decisions. The empire Ryan bragged about was mostly smoke and mirrors. The inheritance could have saved him, but he burned it. Literally. My parents wanted me to hand over most of my money. I refused. That's when the real war started. They spread rumors, called relatives, tried to pressure me socially, painted me as selfish, greedy, ungrateful. But facts don't care about family narratives. The money was legally mine, and for once I wasn't backing down. Then I discovered why Grandma had done all this. It was never about money. It was about character. She knew exactly who everyone was. The arrogant people would reject the gift. The respectful person would keep it. The inheritance wasn't a reward for being smart. It was a reward for showing basic decency, a lesson disguised as a fortune, and the ending was something nobody could reverse. Today my life looks completely different, not because of $6 million, because that night exposed the truth. My family didn't lose their inheritance because they were unlucky. They lost it because arrogance made them blind. They had everything they needed sitting in their hands, and they threw it into the fire. Meanwhile, the only reason I walked away with anything was simple. I treated my grandmother with respect. Sometimes the biggest opportunities don't arrive looking valuable, and sometimes the people who laugh first are the ones who lose the most. If someone handed you that envelope, would you have kept it or thrown it into the fire like they did?